All right, so this is Thursday session. Friday's session was all inside Thursday's range. And right now, during the overnight session, we just traded below the low from Friday, but we couldn't get to the low from Thursday. So we're still inside Thursday's range. So looking at the structure, we can see that we still have a gap that hasn't filled there at 77.21. And then below, we still have all that poor structure I've been talking about for a while. We're opening very close to the low from Friday. So the first thing I want to see is if we are able to get back inside Friday's value. If we get back inside Friday's value, I'm going to be looking for a move towards that 5-day point of control, 76.94, and then test Friday's value area high at 7,700. And I have this, I always look at this low volume nodes as an area where we can turn. So the first thing is I'm going to be watching for sellers here at 77.12. If we get back above it, then gap fill, and then a test of that weekly pivot, which is always a difficult spot. You gotta let that area clear, either whether it's if we're going up or down, we just gotta wait in this area. I don't like trading in this area. But if we do hold above it, then looking for that test of that monthly VWAP at 77.38. And then if we get back above that value area high for this session, the target at 77.50, and then move back to that 77.60 area and above. I'm not looking for that yet, but those are the levels on the upside. On the downside, if we stay below Friday's low, obviously looking for the overnight low, and then the low from Thursday, which is the previous week's low. And that is relevant because at that point, if we break that low, then the weekly time frame starts one time framing down, which means that there's lower lows and lower highs, and which means that bears are still in control on the longer time frame, the higher time frame. And again, 76.38 is the gap fill. You can watch my previous videos to my scenarios on the downside. That hasn't changed because we haven't gotten there. NQ is already below that weekly low. NQ had broken the Thursday high, but didn't break that low, and now we pretty much travel the whole range, and now we traded below the weekly low. So watching that weekly low, two gaps below, actually no, because NQ has, this is showing us a gap because it there's a session in here that we gapped through, but technically the gap is right here. It's at 28,964, and then we have all the single prints here. The monthly VWAP would be a target 28,680 area if we get below. And then, you know, we still have all this. This is where that V reversal started. So, you know, that you know, we gotta watch how we trade in this area. If we just bounce here and then we do the next leg up, or then if we retrace the whole move. But so far we can see value is holding here. Whenever we trade below, we don't see much volume, we don't see much participation, and then we see a little bit of a squeeze in the reverse direction. Gold keeps going. Look at this. broke this 4700, so the next target is 4780. So watching for that high volume node right here, and then if we lose that, I mean, not if we lose that, if we're not able to keep this move going, I think that we could see a retest of that yearly VWAP at 4640. And there should be some support now that we broke through this area so strongly at 4600. So I'm gonna be watching this 4600 to 4615-ish as support. But then look where value was, right? So value was down here and down here. So this, we gotta watch to see if we get more acceptance and more volume in this higher prices. Crude. What's up with crude? All right, crude now has the 20-day point of control right here. It's 86.60. And we move pretty quickly through this 86 area, so watching this as resistance. If we don't if we hold below that, then we could probably see 84.40. If we get back above 86, 86.60 should be the target, and then a move towards the highs again. That's about it for today. There's not that many news except some auctions at 11:30, and then the Treasury Secretary is speaking on Iran at 12:50. It says there's a tentative schedule. Yesterday was earlier, but now they moved it, so we'll see what they say. One thing that I would pay attention to is that they keep announcing Treasury, I think, buybacks, and that should be bullish for the market. So keep an eye on those. All right. Good luck.